Ellie with me. Yay. It feels like ages, although I know you popped on a show several weeks back, but then there was you weren't on for a long time before that because you had so much going on and changing jobs and phew, all kinds of stuff. But I'm glad you were able to join me today. I don't know where everybody is. Michelle, Pamela. I knew Pamela had a thing last Sunday, and so she told us that she couldn't be on the show, but I haven't heard a peep out of her. Or Michelle. I know Dr. Rose and Maria saw my post, but hopefully Dr. Rose will pop in the chat because our topic today is, business is true. There she is. Speak of the devil, and she shows up magically.
Hi.
I didn't think you were coming today.
I made it. I was running late, but I made it.
And Ellie's here.
Hi, Ellie. It's so good to see you.
It's
Likewise, I'm so
awesome.
glad to join you guys here.
About
Oh,
time.
oh man, it was a lot to get the show ready today. Let me tell you what happened. So I was just telling Ellie about putting the new Mac operating system 26. I put the beta version on. The official version comes out like next month sometime for 2026. And it's got cool new features. And one of them is like organizing the files, and you can color code the files, which is a huge help for me. I mean, you used to be able to kind of do that and, kind of put like you could put an image on there, and it was a lot more difficult. This is just, boom, So I started, oh my God, yesterday, I started going through every file on the computer. I must have got rid of 50 gigabytes of useless information and files.
Wow.
But
That's a lot.
this morning, luckily, I turned on the OBS software. And for those listening, watching, that's what allows us to, flip between scenes. Like I can pop up our coffee. By the way, buy us a cup of coffee, psyche.cafe/coffee. And shameless plug, right? And put these logos up here. I could do streaming text, pop up text like our website link, which you should visit. It's free to register and join us on Psychic Cafe. Yeah. But OBS is the software that lets you do all that. It does a lot of other stuff. I'm only scratching the surface. I use like 5% of its capabilities, right? So I
I
go
use
on
about
there.
1%.
Yeah. So I go on there to set up the show like I always do. There's always, one or two banners I have to switch out for the show because I go through the banners for all the upcoming shows for you guys during these shows. It was all gone because I moved all the files and reorganized everything. Everything is super organized now, but they were all gone. So I had to go into the OBS and I had to reinstall like, I don't know, 30 things, including like these logos and everything. I mean, you name it, I had to reinstall it. So yeah, that was fun this morning. How are you guys? Does everybody have their coffee and tea? Pull up a chair. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about business as a tarot reader, a psychic advisor. And also, I see Jasmina's in there, Alicia's in there. Can I ask a question? So let's fill them in if you're new. Okay. First of all, if you're new, and especially because I just reinstalled this, subscribe to the channel, folks, and like this video and watch some of our other videos and like them. We've got, I wait a second, just for fun. I'm going to go over to the channel. Where are we at? 884 videos, people.
Wow.
But we only have 768 subscribers. So we're trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. Have your friends come watch our videos, subscribe and like the videos. We have all these tutorials, workshops. It's all free. It's all right here on the YouTube channel. Come
Mhm.
check it out.
Yep.
So let's see, what was I talking about? So just put your specific question in the chat. There's no list to get on. You don't have to say, can I get a reading? Just put the question in. And when we start doing readings, we'll get to it. We're probably not going to do readings maybe until maybe after we do the topic, but there's a way you can, you know, you can jump the line. Yeah. And that's by joining us on the live Zoom that, like Michelle and Ellie and I are on right now. And you can read all about this by going over to psychic.cafe/Zoom. Here, let me get the URL and I'm going to pop that in the chat for everybody. And you can read about this. And basically, what it is, our members and the students, of my course, this is your opportunity to join us live on a live Zoom and get live mentoring, coaching. And yes, because we're doing this simulcasting during our YouTube shows, you can get a free mini reading and you'll get priority because you're on camera with us, just like Jimmy did our last show. Jimmy showed up.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Wasn't that fun? It was
Yes.
it was so much fun. So you can join us on these Zoom calls. Of course, everybody can join us in the chat room on YouTube during the live shows, and you can ask questions and you can get mini reads. But if you join us on Zoom, we're taking your questions and reading requests first. That's right. In addition, what I showed earlier, our coffee page, if you buy us a cup of coffee, let us know in the chat. Hey, I bought you a cup of coffee. Guess what? We're going to jump right to your question. We're going to stop what we're doing, even if we're in the middle of doing a topic or something like that. We're taking your question right away. No waiting. We'll spend more time with you. We'll let you ask additional questions, get additional feedback, and so forth like that. Also, you can obviously get us a super chat. If you go down to where you type in uh, your comments in the chat, you'll see it looks like a dollar bill with a dollar sign. You click that, you can send us a super chat and put your question right in the super chat. Then we'll know, we'll go right to your question. No waiting. Yes, it's like magic. So that's how you do questions. Jasmina, Aisha, I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name. I'm sorry I'm butchering your name, but just go ahead and put your
Aisha,
question.
that's what it sounds like.
I know. Oops, I just forgot to switch scenes there.
Oh,
Anyway,
whoops.
oops. So before I get into anything else and the three of us start chit-chatting about business, because I'm sure Michelle and Ellie have some ideas and they can tell us their journey. What did you guys go through starting your business? How did you organize? What software and licenses and insurance, and did you even do that? So we're going to get in all kinds of stuff, because let's face it, we've got some fantastic angel practitioners, numerologists, tarot readers, psychic advisors, mediums that are members of the guild. We've opened it up to, yeah, yes, it's called the Tarot Guild, but we've been around for 20 years. We decided we're opening it up to, any psychic modality, anything related, spiritual coaching, you name it. And they're really great at doing that, all of those practitioners. But most of us are not that good at business. In fact, we often don't even think of it as a business. So start thinking about that. If you're watching us live right now, put your questions about business. And even if it's not related to a psychic or tarot advisor type business, we'll take those too, because it all applies. But first, I want to do the card of the day, which I got one of my favorite cards, the Ace of Pentacles. course, I say that for every card of the day because every card in the deck is my favorite card. But there's something about the Ace of Pentacles because it's a practical thing and it means good things coming. You might have not necessarily, it's the beginning. That's, with all the aces, but it's the earth element. So it's material and usually, that stuff, it's more actionable and you can get started right away on this, new energy coming in. So the Ace of Pentacles brings a powerful message of new beginnings and opportunities. This card signifies the start of something tangible and real. That's what I love about it. Often related to finances, career, or a new project. It's a sign that the universe is offering you a fresh start, a chance to plant a seed that can grow into something significant and prosperous. Think of it as a gift in your hand. Look at how the hand is coming out of the cloud and holding the pentacle, a solid new opportunity waiting to be embraced. This could be a new job offer, a promising business venture, a chance to start saving money, or even a new hobby that could lead to financial gain. The key is to be open to receiving the gift and taking action. So a lot of us, we try to align ourselves with the law of attraction. There's the 4 steps. We go through the first 3 steps, but we often forget the take action final step, which is, by the way, represented in the cross of manifestation by the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles encourages you to ground your ideas in reality and start building something with a strong foundation. This is a time to be practical and focused on your goals. The path is clear and full of potential. Embrace this energy, and you will find that your efforts will lead to stability and growth. So there you go. Card of the day. Yay.
Okay.
Awesome. So I think a
Nice.
bunch of you will get that message and will relate to that, right? But one more thing. as as they say at the end of the, and you guys don't have to keep turning your cameras off. You can leave it on.
But wait, one more thing.
Yeah, yeah. It hey, the Big Apple, September presentation is coming up. The iPhone 17 and a whole bunch of things are coming out. And they always do that at the end. It's like, but one more thing. So, one more thing. It's Labor Day tomorrow, and I'm doing a Labor Day sale. That's right. So, readings, guild membership, professional certification, everything is $67. It's saving you about 14% off the regular. And then my course, Tarot by the Numbers, my Tarot and Numerology course, it's on sale for up to 40% off. Yes, right now it is, if I'm remembering my own sale, it's normally $299. It's $300. But right now, 2 payments of $99. So $99 will get you started, and then next month you'll be charged the second $99. Or if you want to pay in one payment, it's $178. 78 cards in the tarot deck. So 178. Oh, and by the way, remember I was talking about the guild membership and professional certification being 67. Well, you're going to get your professional certification and your first year of membership included when you enroll in my course for 178 or 2 payments of 99. So that is the Labor Day sale going on all weekend through into tomorrow, Monday, and it'll end at midnight or maybe on Tuesday, something like that. So jump on it as quick as you can because this isn't like the summer sale that was like all summer. This is just a few days. Okay. So
Yeah.
jump on that right now. All righty. One other thing. Because I always forget this, but remember I had to reinstall all the slides. So I actually saw this slide and I was like, oh, shoot, I haven't been doing this all summer. I'm supposed to be promoting Maria's angel
Yes.
course. Yes, yes. Become an angel practitioner. If you're thinking of something different, you can enroll. You don't have to get certified if you don't want to. It's a separate thing, but you can sign up for the CAP course. There's my link that'll take you right over there, psychic.cafe/CAP course. Actually, I haven't been there in a while. So hold
I'm
on.
so bad. I haven't either.
Let me pop over to the payment page. I'm going to see. I think it's $444 right now. She had it on sale before, but right now it's back to the normal 444, the angel number, right? I'll pop that in the chat for anybody that's interested. Psychic.cafe/cap course. And that is my affiliate link. So I have to say that, YouTube rules. So, I'll get a little bit of kickback if you decide to enroll in Maria's course. So
And
there,
Maria's course is awesome. I took it. I'm
and
gonna
it's
talk
been
to her.
revamped.
Yeah, I've heard it's been revamped. I'm gonna retake it. I am gonna get my certificate, and she has beautiful cards. I mean,
Oh
look
yeah,
at these cards. Here's,
lovely
let me show you this,
color.
just the first one right here.
Yeah, awesome. Look at that.
Ask us anything. You can ask the angels anything. Nothing is too big or too small.
Mm. So
So,
Ellie's muted. I think I'm hearing some feedback, like I'm hearing myself coming through your computer and back through your mic, Michelle.
hmm,
So just to let you know, and if that keeps doing it, then maybe you might want to consider a headset. And I have my headset out from the radio days because that's in the conversation we're about to talk about, getting technology. And or you just put some earbuds in, or either Bluetooth or plugged in. The plugged in ones actually work better.
they
Uh
do.
yeah, not like if you're just casually listening to music or YouTube videos or whatever on your phone or something like that, or your laptop. But when you are going through doing a live and there's all these connections through Zoom and everything, it used to be really bad with Blog Talk Radio, but Blog Talk died. And RNP RIP, we were on 14 years on Blog Talk. What we found out is that because of the complicated systems, there was a lot of things going on with Bluetooth, with incompatibility, let's just say. Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, wired is better. Um, so let's get into our topic here. I'm going to scroll down to my notes because I can't remember all this stuff, folks. So, doing business as a professional tarot advisor or psychic advisor, medium, astrologer, numerologist, angel practitioner, like we were just talking about, spiritual coach, any of these things. All right. I got to give the disclaimer. This is not legal or financial advice. Okay. I got to say that so the Fed doesn't come down on us, or YouTube, which is actually worse than the Fed. You don't want to cross YouTube. This is not legal or financial advice. Please consult with your lawyer, consult with your financial advisor, your accountant on these topics. Okay. This is just our experience. And so we're just giving our opinion. All right. This is what we did. And this is the things that we've noticed that you need to think about. And this is the thing, we don't think of this as a business. And we've had some recent shows where we talked about how, a lot of people don't even know that we're doing a business. They see us doing readings online and they assume it's free. And they don't know we're a professional. And so, yeah, the free reading requests, they can get kind of annoying, but I think you should try to turn them into a paid client. We did a whole show on that. After the show, go watch it in the archive. I'm not going to go through all that right now, but yeah, um, you might have to educate some people, okay? And you yourself, you need to start thinking of this as a business. And if you're not charging, you need to start charging, because you bring the rest of the industry down. And don't be charging for $30 readings. Bare minimum $99, $3 per minute. Take how many minutes it takes for you to do a live interaction with somebody or an email, 20 minutes times three. That's what you should be start charging at. Maybe you do 30-minute live sessions, 40, 45. We used to all do hour ones, but don't need to anymore. And that's another show coming up soon where we're going to be talking about, is our attention spans, now that they're down to like 5 minutes or less, maybe we should be doing shorter readings. We'll have a little discuss. That'll be a more fun, open discussion. This is more like a class, this thing here. So that out of the way, the legal disclaimer, we're not giving legal or financial advice. This is our opinion. The first thing you have to think about is how to set things up. I know a lot of people, the first thing they think about, logo, business name, all that stuff. And actually doing this live here, I forgot to put that in my list. Logo and wait, what was the other one? Business name. Business. Let me just put that in my notes so I don't forget for later. We'll talk about that a little bit. People get bogged down in that kind of stuff. Honestly, I think that we are all branding ourselves and people buy from people. So your business should be, elliethemoonchild.com, Michelle Matheny, psychic advisor, whatever you want to go with. But yeah, it's not like the old days. You're not Pepsi. You're not going to resell your business because your business is you. So it doesn't, unless you're making a big platform like we have Psychic Cafe, it doesn't make sense to do that anymore. Your Instagram, your TikTok, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your X Twitter, and your website. We'll get into websites in a little bit, and maybe I get some advice from Ellie and Michelle. They should all be you. They should all be you. But how are you going to set yourself up? We think of all that stuff, logos and designs and websites ahead of time. Start at the beginning. You have to be running a business in the format of a sole proprietorship, an LLC, or a C corp. Those are the basic ones. There's some other ones. There's trusts and all this other weird stuff, but 99.99%, LLC, limited liability company. Why would you start an LLC? Because it's a limited liability company. You take the risk out, because if anybody sues you, they're suing the LLC. And generally speaking, under most circumstances, your private assets and you and your home and your car and all your equipment and everything, well, the equipment might be owned by the LLC depending, but all those assets, your bank account, are all protected when you have an LLC. Some people go down the route of C corp, and I'm not going to get into details about this stuff. This is why you go to your accountant, and this is why this is not legal or financial advice. However, C corp gives you, you can become you can do it with an LLC too, but with C corp, you can become an employee of your corporation. You can do that with LLC too, but there's more tax advantages under certain circumstances. This is why you talk to your accountant with a C corp. Again, 97% of us do not need a C corp. Okay, we're going to be an LLC or a sole proprietor. What do I mean by sole proprietor? That's you. That's anybody that starts a business and you're basically running the business under your social security number. So your business identifier is not the EIN like from the federal government. It is your social security number. So you are completely at risk at that point. Do I think that this, you see, you have to weigh the risks. Is this a risky business to be in? Are you going to get sued a lot? No. I've been doing this for 30 years. I was a sole proprietor for 80% of that time. I did not have an LLC. That said, nowadays we live in the modern era where you can start up an LLC in a matter of an hour or two. There are all kinds of companies that'll do it for a fee. You just pay them a little fee, you pay the filing fees, they do all the work for you, and boom, you're an LLC. It's really quick and easy. I recommend that you do that. Okay. But if you're just starting out, when I say I recommend that you do that, start the business and make money first and use the profits to pay that. And that way it's all write off also, folks. So, when you pay the company to get the LLC for you and you pay the filing fees, you can write all that off your taxes. When you start out, just do sole proprietorship. That's my recommendation. Again, not legal advice. Again, not financial advice. That's my experience. Yours may be different. Okay. And then there's, well, before we go on to the rest of the list, and it's quite long, so I'm going to try to go through this quick so we can get to some readings. But go ahead and put your readings in the chat, everybody. Mystic Road just came in. Where's Dan? I don't see Dan. So
He's gonna be in shortly.
cool. I hear him in the background there. So,
Yeah, he's logging in.
so Ellie and Michelle, what did you guys do? Did you just, start a business off the cuff as a sole proprietor? Did you form an LLC? What do you think about that?
I have not done anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Really, there's not enough. And I've even spoken with the gal from the bank when I was opening my account over there, and she was saying how until you start making a certain amount,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to worry about going down and getting the business license, going down and doing all those things because you're not making that that limit that they're looking for. Once you hit
Exactly.
that, then you want to take that next step. But when you're just starting out, you don't need to rush and waste your money and your time.
Yeah.
You just want to set up you.
In fact, that's a good point because a lot of how I prefaced the beginning of this was that as spiritual advisors, psychic advisors, tarot readers, we're not thinking of it as a business and we're not doing anything. But then there's the other side of the coin, putting the cart before the horse, getting the logo and the business name and forming an LLC and getting the business checking account and all of this stuff. If you're only making $50 a week or something like that, for your first year or something, maybe you're just doing this as a hobby. You may never. And when we get to, remind me when we get to taking payments and how to do that, you might be just taking some payment. The IRS does not care about this, folks. They have a hard enough time keeping up with the companies making over 100,000, over $1 million. They don't care about us. And again, that's not legal advice. That's not accounting advice. Your lawyer is going to tell you something different. Your accountant's going to tell you something different. But for 5 or 10 years, I just took payments and I never got a license. I never got a business account. I never did any of that until I start making enough money, like Michelle was saying. Any idea? What did you do, Ellie? And your thoughts?
I actually read at a small crystal shop for a little while, and I had some taxes to pay on that. Luckily, they took
Mm.
care of that end of, the legal stuff.
Oh,
But
nice.
as of yet, I haven't really established myself as sole proprietorship or LLC, which I'm glad we're
Okay.
talking about it because I've heard of it and I got really scared and backed off doing
Yeah.
readings for a while. But yeah,
Well,
just anything really that I've done has been kind of like trade, honestly. I've traded readings, mostly
oh,
like when I'm at a
trading is
cafe.
great too. Yeah, I never
Yeah,
thought of that. I
my
never.
friends or people who want a reading will just buy me coffee and a little croissant or
I've
something,
done
and
that.
I'll do
I mean,
readings.
I started off in coffee shops when I started hanging out in veteran service organizations. It's like, oh, buy me a couple of drinks. You know, stuff like that. But 2 points there to hit on. First of all, is setting yourself up. So just so people know, you don't set up a sole proprietorship. You are automatically a sole proprietorship. Now you can change the name of your sole proprietorship. You can be Jane Doe DBA, doing business as even your own name, or Jane Doe Consulting, or Carlisle Consulting, or Carlisle Coaching. And that's coming up too. What I recommend, that you call yourself, as far as the business side of things. And then the other thing was, let's see, what else did you say? There was a second thing right after. You didn't set yourself up as a sole proprietorship or LLC, but you already are a sole proprietorship. And
I can knock that off the list.
you can set up an LLC if you like. What was the? Oh, I know. When you said you were working at a business, like some of you guys might work at a metaphysical bookstore, and if you're not classified as an employee, if you're just an employee of them, you're just going to get a W2. Sorry, I was doing World War II. No, W2. But otherwise, they are 1099ing you. They're sending you a 1099 form, which you have to file. So I assume they probably did that with you, and then you have to pay taxes on that. And you didn't have to do anything as far as setting up a legal entity because you're a sole proprietor. You are a contractor at that point. And yes, you could just be a contractor. Like if you go to work on Aranum or California Psychics, Keen, you're a contractor. You are a private, like subcontract. I forget what they call it. A private contractor. There's a name for that.
Independent
Independent
contractor.
contractor.
Yeah.
Independent contractor. Yeah. Okay, so moving on real quick. And it is a business, and this came up in a recent show where I said the cost of doing business. So here's the list: decks, spread cloths, bags, boxes, books, courses, getting your certification at the Tarot Guild, your annual membership to the Tarot Guild, because you do want to be a member of a professionals organization, don't you? Exactly, right. The electricity in your house. Did you know that you can write off a portion of all of your utilities? And if, let's say, you're renting, if your office that you work out of is 1/4 of the size of your apartment, let's say, or some other building, or you're renting retail space, you can write that off your taxes. Yes. Internet, the cost of internet, the Wi-Fi routers that you connect to your internet that allow you to, people get this confused all the time, by the way. People go, yeah, my Wi-Fi, and my Wi-Fi is costing me. No, no, no. You purchase internet from a provider, and that comes into your house, and then it stops. And then it has to either be plugged into a device physically, or you plug in a router that wirelessly magically connects you to your phone, your laptop, and so forth. I hear people saying this wrong all the time, so I try to put it out every once in a while when I have the opportunity. And Michelle's laughing like crazy because she knows she calls it Wi-Fi when it's actually internet. Okay, so you have to pay for the physical or rent a physical Wi-Fi router. That is a physical device that you plug into your internet that you pay a service fee for through your phone company, or they have wireless cellular version now, Cox cable, cable internet, which is the best, by the way, highest speed stuff there. And what else? Computers. I bought my laptop a few years ago that I'm using right now, and I wrote it off. Insurance, business cards, flyers, postcards, email services, and your time. Your time costs money. What'd you say?
Ink.
Yeah, printer ink.
Ink. And you know what I always forget to do? Whenever I order a new deck, I always forget to get a copy of the receipt.
Yes. because you can write all of that off. Now, if you're buying on eBay or you're buying on Amazon, there is a sneaky way because you can go back into your past orders, click on each one, and click on give me the invoice, and it will. And you can use that to write it off on your taxes. Just a little, Anyway, let's go into logo and business name again. Unless you're creating some big business where you're going to be on Etsy and Amazon and you're selling products as well as your reading services and all these other things, I would just go with my name. People buy from people. And that's why you want to be on YouTube with us on Psychic Cafe Live, or even create your own show like Michelle did. If you need help with podcasting, or doing a YouTube show, we've done this for 16 years. We've already gone through the learning curve, and we can help you do that for a tiny, tiny amount of money a month, where you can join the guild and join us as a host on the network. And we'll help you through all that. We've had many people come through the doors where, they've joined us as a host, they've gotten their feet wet, and then they went off and created their own YouTube channels back in the day, blog talk radio channels, but, podcasting channels, things like that. You can get on Spotify and all that kind of stuff. We'll help you with all of that. So yeah, and a logo. Your logo is your face. Yeah, I mean, it's not that at some point you might want to create a logo, I mean, I have a bigger business, so I have the Psychic Cafe logo, which, by the way, I created that myself. Look at that, with the cards behind the coffee cup. I mean, yeah, I love it. I love it. But for the most of us, you want you to be your logo. Ellie the Moonchild, I love those cards. That is so cool. Those are beautiful too. That's another thing. If you're gonna do business cards, do super high quality, please. Okay. Back to the logo though. On all your social media, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are, it should be the exact same picture. And yes, when you get a new headshot done and everything. By the way, did you know you can take a picture of yourself, just any old picture, and you can go to gemini.google.com, or chat GPT, I can't say it, upload the picture and tell it to redress you in a suit, business attire, or something else that you want, change the lighting, put you in a different background, make it look like a professional headshot. You can describe exactly what you want. And then, and Gemini's the best at this, by the way. Just 2 days ago, they came out with their new visual processing, which is like way infinitely beyond even Chat GPT. So go on to Gemini, put in a headshot of yourself, take a picture of yourself, and tell it you want act as a professional photographer, and take this image and create it as a professional stock, professional headshot. And you will be amazed at the results. And then use that headshot, and you can put different backgrounds behind you, and use that headshot and put it on all of your devices. Well, I said devices, but what I meant was all of your social media accounts and everything like that, because you are the brand, you are the logo, your name is the business name. Okay, let's move on. Here's something from way back in the day. Don't know how much it is applicable right now, but we always said at the Tarot Guild, you are going to be a spiritual counselor or coach, and you're going to get certified. You're going to get ordained. What do I mean by that? You can go online and very quickly and easily, through a few different companies now. I went through the ULC, Universal Life Church, and become ordained as a minister. this gives you certain, what's the word for it? Privileges. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was gonna say benefits.
benefit
Privileges is better.
benefits and privileges.
Yeah.
Not only can you marry people and do funerals if you want. I hate funerals and I cry at what I've married people a lot, but let me tell you, each time I have to do it, I have to do hypnosis on myself so that I don't cry the entire time through doing the ceremony. I also add in a little bit of in my my hypnosis program that I listen to before I go to sleep, to be humorous. And so yeah, my weddings that I do are funny. And that's the only way I can keep myself smiling and not crying. Yeah, because I'm bad. I'm bad. Funerals, oh, forget it. I would just lose it. So get yourself ordained. It's free. You could pay a little bit to get your certificate sent and all that kind of stuff like that, which I highly recommend because you can put it on the wall along with your Tarot Guild membership and your certified tarot reader or certified tarot professional or certified tarot master certificate from the Tarot Guild. That's right. And along with that, when we're saying things that are going to help you out, go get ordained. Take a life coaching course and become a certified life coach. And why do I say that? Well, first of all, there are life coaching skills are the foundation of what we do now. Yes, there's the skill of producing an astrology natal chart or a numerology chart or reading the cards or whatever it is that you're doing. But underlying that, why most people are coming to us these days, in the old days, it was tell me my fortune. Okay, pick your cards. And then they'd pick their card and notice the word their cards, which implied a written in stone future. Okay, we don't do that anymore. We do life coaching with people. We just happen to use cards and other tools like numerology, which I highly recommend. Or if you want to do astrology, whatever it is. Astrology is too hard for me. I'm not smart enough. Anyway, but um become a certified life coach. What you will learn about asking the right question. By the way, we have a show coming up on asking the right questions of tarot. I think it's maybe even the next show. Anyway, after Michelle's show, next show. And yeah, you're going to get this foundation, but also rather than billing yourself, at least when you go to get your business license at the county clerk or start your business account at Chase Manhattan or Chase JP Morgan or what do I got? I got Navy Federal Credit, or maybe you're doing Wells Fargo or what have you. I'm Dax Carlisle. I'm a life coach. Or you could use the term consultant. Don't use counselor because there's legal implications. Talk to your lawyer. Again, not legal advice or financial advice, but you want to be careful with this stuff. And instead of saying, oh, yeah, I'm a tarot reader. Okay. Not that there's necessarily something legal about that, but there kind of is. I'll get to it in a second. But yeah, just tell them you're a life coach. Tell them you're a business consultant, a business coach, something like that. Whatever your specialty is. Let's say you specialize in romance readings with the tarot. Okay. So you are a relationship coach. There you go. And it's just going to help you out down the line, especially if you then start opening business lines of credit. Did you know you could do that? And you're most likely going to get approved for lines of credit, credit cards, etc., through your business if you have a business name like Michelle Matheny Business Coach. You're just going to have an easier time. I know it's not fair. We all want to say what we really are and be able to say, I'm a tarot reader, but you know how a lot of places you have to put the disclaimer, like in New York and not everywhere, but in a lot of municipalities, you have to put for entertainment only, which I hate because it's not true. Because what we do actually helps people.
Yes, it does. I think
However,
in Nevada, it's you
what is
have
it?
to have a business license.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise,
Well, that's
you have
anywhere.
But
But
in Nevada, it's you have to have a business license or you have to put for entertainment purposes only.
oh, that's different. That's a
So
different.
that at least that was the last I heard.
But that leads us into something else where across the entire world, 99% of any location you're in, there's no rules about this, except for like you're in Bangladesh and they will chop your head off if you're a fortune teller. So you might want to check with your local laws, you know. I'm not saying they actually do that in Bangladesh. That's just the first thing that popped in my head. But yeah, you know, check all your local laws, state, city, county, federal. If you're in other parts of the world, they have different names for these things, like provinces in Canada and Germany. And, you know, check the laws. Most of the time, there is no law, but occasionally there is some weird stuff going on. For instance, in large cities. So this leads from what we were just talking about into this topic where they've had problems with scammers, tarot readers that are not tarot readers. You know, you have a hex. If you give me $1,000, I'll light a candle and make it go away. So large cities, I think New York City, I know San Francisco does this. It's like becoming a licensed massage therapist. You have to get a business license, and then you have to go down and get fingerprinted, usually in the same, it's the same police department building and section where you go in to get fingerprinted to be a massage therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hilarious, right? You know, you have to go in and get fingerprinted to become a tarot reader legally in San Francisco and other counties, municipalities, certain large cities. Check it out. So that's another big tip there. Research all of this. Talk to your accountant. Talk to your lawyer. Uh, Call up the county seat. You know, find out all the details. Do everything above board and legally. But I'm telling you right now, if you work as a life coach, that's going to save you a lot of headache if it's in any area where predicting the future is illegal in some places. Okay, so check all of that out. Business cards. This has come up on several shows now where we talked about the idea of just get a deck off Etsy or off of Alibaba or even Amazon for $5. Or maybe you have some old decks that are missing cards or something laying around, whatever. Use them as your business card. So you can just hand it to somebody, or what you can do is go, um, you know, here, pick a card. Then you can tell them something about that card. And then you can say, by the way, on my back, you can say, by the way, on the back is my contact information.
Right.
If you want
Look what
to,
I did, Dax.
what'd you do?
Look at my card.
Yeah. I'm
It's all cut. It's
okay.
like something spilt on it. So,
Oh,
so my cards, which I have not thrown away since you told me about that, but I
right.
haven't done it yet. Some of them are like wet and icky. They're not wet, but they're like crinkly and you can't really tell, but they're crinkled. And for me, I wouldn't use them in a reading now because one's ruined. You'll know when you see it. So as he was saying, I'm going to take them and I'm going to take the back of them and I'm going to put my business card on it.
Yes. And the way you do that is you just get the sticky labels. You get the thing of labels, you know, from your Office Max or whatever, you know, and you put it in your printer and you have your name, your social media contacts, a phone number, which by the way is like one of the next things on my list. Let me just jump to that right now because we're talking about it, right? And I can't find it. Where the heck did it go? Okay, so get a Google Voice phone number. That's what I've used for years. You go to Google, you click the little dots, and it opens all of the Google apps. Click on voice. You can get a free telephone number to use as your business number. Another idea people do is they get a cheaper free phone with really super cheap service on it, like, Mint Mobile, $15 a month, whatever, and they use a separate phone as their separate business line. Do not give out your actual cell phone number. I have this is my actual cell phone and I have my private number, but I also have Google on here. So when someone calls me on my Google number, which is, by the way, 520-352-4DAX. Yes, you can actually do that. And it's really cool. 352-7848. And it'll ring on my cell phone as if it's a regular phone call, and I can answer right on my cell phone or my watch or whatever. And just don't give out your private number. Get it, and you may do this a different way. You may want to go with a professional service or something like that. But the easiest, fastest way, and what I do is I just I got a Google Voice phone number for free. Okay, and then one last thing about the business cards: get yourself really nice, high quality, like Ellie has. Go to Vistaprint or somewhere. You can get. By the way, hack for you. Anything online, not just Vistaprint, but especially Vistaprint. Anything you're going to buy in Google, type in Vistaprint discount code and go through and search, and you're going to be able to take off 20, 30, 50% off your order. Okay. But for me, just get something cheap, print out your labels, stick them on here. You can do the cool trick of like pick a card, any card, and then you can give them, some knowledge on that card. You could do a mini reading even, and then you can say, and by the way, my contact information is on the back. You keep that. You keep that. Okay. But we've been talking about this on a lot of shows, and I forgot to give out some additional advice. And that is same idea, little quirk to it. You can print on both sides of a business card, and you can get different size cards and different kind of stocks, really nice cards, or really cheap cards. You can get linen, even if it's print. And what you can do is make a business card with all your contact information, how you want them to contact you, and so forth. You could even put a discount code on there. Let's say you're using Square like I do. You can send them to your Square link. They can put in the coupon code, and you can give them a 20% discount off their first reading, or 10% discount or something like that. And then on the other side, it's blank. You can print Waite-Smith images on there. Why? The Waite-Smith images are in the public domain. And to help you out, I actually have a PDF with all the black and white, the line drawing versions, especially if you want to print this out and give it to your kids, let them color it in, stuff like that. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And if you need this and can't find it or something later or whatever, I'll put it in the show notes here on the show if I remember. Getting old here, folks. But if you click on that link, it's going to take you to a PDF that you can download, and it has all of the Waite-Smith images in black and white. And because it's in public domain, you can have Vistaprint print that on the back. And of course, if you're going to do 1,000 cards, you're not going to be able to do different cards. So this is a little bit different, than using an old deck or buying a cheap $5 deck, or actually Alibaba $275. No, you're going to pick your card. So you might shuffle and cut the deck and see what card comes up for you, or you may look through the core cards and go, okay, I am the Queen of Cups, or I am the Knight of Swords, or maybe you match it up with your astrological sign or your life path, or anything like that, and get a card that represents you. And then from the PDF I just gave you, take that card, King of Cups, maybe you are, and have Vistaprint print that on the back and your business information on the other side, and then get 250, 200, 500, 1,000 of them printed up. And then it's got gosh, I'll just keep using this. It's got, if your car's the Chariot, it's got the Chariot on one side and your information on the back, but it's an actual business card versus taking an actual deck and printing your stuff back there on a label that you slap on. That's actually a lot of physical work. You have to find a deck, buy a deck, print everything out in the, with the stickers, put the stickers on, if it's one deck, it's 78 cards. But if you buy, say, 5 of these on Alibaba, and you got to put a lot of stickers on cards. But if you go to this print, you can type it in and then click on backside and then upload image. And, of course, you have to put it sideways and get it to fit perfectly, and then print me 1,000 of those. It's a lot easier. And it shows up in a week or 2 weeks or 3 days, however, depending on the season, this print's pretty quick. So there's an idea that, we've been talking about these business card ideas for a long time on many shows, but that's one that's I never thought to tell you guys about, and I've done that myself. I love that. By the way, I am the Page of Swords, which is Gemini, and I love the Page of Swords. So that's the one I had on the back of my business card. By the way, this trick, I've been using Vistaprint for 20 years. This goes back 20 years. Okay, let me look at the list here. And again, the link is below in the show notes or in the chat right now. And if you're watching in archive, you can activate the chat replay, and the link will be there for the black and white Rider-Waite-Smith images, a PDF with all of them, which is really cool. How are you going to do your readings? I mean, most people are thinking of, going to the coffee shop, or, we talked about this on other shows recently about, have you gone down to your local day spa, hairstylist, pub, coffee house, talk with the owner, not the chains. You're not going to go to Starbucks, you're going to go to a locally owned, and, ask them if you can sit there and do readings and stuff like that, but 98% of us are going to be doing readings either only online or line. How are you going to do it? Skype's gone. Yeah, Microsoft bought them and then pulled the plug. Well, I do everything on Zoom. There's other ways of doing it. Yes. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to say Zoom. It's the easiest thing. You can get the professional account for like what, $16 a month? And anytime you need to meet with somebody, you click a link and makes a link, and you just give them the link and they pop on with you. And almost all modern devices, there's no setup, there's no downloads, it automatically does all this stuff. Another way is through Facebook Messenger. Sometimes I just text chat the reading, and on Messenger, I can send pictures. So I'll take a picture of the cards and on my phone, I will zip it off to them. And so, yeah, think about the way you're going to do. How are you going to do readings? Also on Zoom, it's nice. You can hit record, and then you set all this stuff ahead of time before you start your business. Figure this stuff all out ahead of time. If you need help, that's why you join the Tarot Guild. That's what we do. We help you out with this stuff. So figure out how you're going to get this to them. Are you going to drop a link of some kind? Dropbox, Google Drive. You can upload it to YouTube, and you can make it unlisted and then give the link to the person. There's a lot of ways of doing it. Okay. Think of things ahead of time. Set this all out. Your camera, what are you going to use? If you have a modern phone, especially an iPhone, but Samsung Galaxy Ultra from the last few years, you have like studio quality cameras, folks, and even the cheaper phones are really damn good. And you can just set up a stand that's aimed at you, and boom, there you go. Do you have to go run out and buy special equipment, $3,000 cameras? No. Do you have to buy special lighting? No. In fact, I have an overhead light and natural light, which is the best, coming from outside through a window right now, illuminating me. I'm not using special studio lighting. Now, eventually down the line, when you're rich, and I haven't got there in 20 years, but if we ever get there, I'm gonna have studio lighting and I'm gonna set up a proper. But right now,
And when you do that, I'm just going to come to your house and do studio there because it'll be easier.
oh heck, I'll be so rich. I'm gonna move you and Dan here to Tucson, and you can do the shows live with me in my
There
studio.
we go. See? And we'll
Mhm.
bring Ellie too, because gotta
Yay,
have our
Ellie!
Ellie. Yes. Yay.
I forgot. Where are you, Ellie?
San Diego right now.
You're. Oh, that's right. Duh. Okay,
Where, I'm
we
sorry, where
are
are you at?
San Diego.
Oh,
San
that's
Diego.
Look at the hat. I almost never wear a hat, but I was so lazy. I was so lazy today. I'm not taking the time to wash my. I didn't even shave. It's like I'm just putting a freaking hat on, and I usually get my baseball cap that's from the American Legion. Well, I saw this up there, and I'm like, you know what? I never wear that. I'm wearing my San Diego cap. Ellie pops on, and I'm like, oh, that is scary. That is a synchronicity from the universe. I put the San Diego cap on, and there she is. By the way, Michelle, screw that idea. You're not I'm not moving you to Tucson. I'm moving all of us to San Diego. And we are going to hang out with Ellie, and we're going to have a studio in San Diego, California, coming to you
yes.
live
I
from.
love it.
Oh my God, yes, because I lived there for 8 years and absolutely miss it. But I moved back here, mom and dad, but mom passed away in March, and I don't know. I might be in San Diego. Who knows? But yeah, just so I mentioned that. But what was I talking about? So I was talking about Zoom, and I want to talk about backgrounds. Okay, set up your background. You know, if you don't, first of all, don't do cluttered. I was literally watching a YouTube video yesterday where they were talking about this is not a good scene. There's too much crap. Ellie, not so much, but I mean the ones that they had, right? You want to have minimalist, blank wall, maybe your certificates. I've got some boxes, decks up here. I've got my Stormtrooper coffee cup. I had to have that, right? Um, Set that up. Yeah. Another thing you do is a virtual background. I just created this with Gemini with AI. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go to my FaceTime, and then I'm going to go to backgrounds. There you go. Now I'm in a wonderful mood lit, you know, kind of office in the evening and chit chatting with everybody.
I
You
like
know,
that one.
isn't that cool? You know what I did? And by the way, guys, another tip, you guys can do this now as of 2 days ago. And Ellie's got hers. Look at that. This is what you can do. I was listening to a YouTuber. He had this background only with different lights, different things on the wall. I took a picture with just my screen capture. Every computer allows you to grab a picture. I took that picture, I put it into um, Gemini, and I told it to create a new image that's like this one. You use this one for reference, and I hit go. I forgot that I wanted to also put into the prompt, take the individual, the YouTuber out of the picture. I forgot to tell it. It did it anyway. Because I told Gemini, the last part of it was like, and create some. I said something like to the effect of, create a background image that I can use to do YouTube videos. And it took the person out. Now, it didn't make the changes that I really, really wanted, though. it still looked like his background. And I didn't want to do videos where this guy might come across the video and go, that's my house. because his was not a virtual background. His was his real, the real room he was in, which is gorgeous, by the way. He had these cool two mood lights right here. So what I did was I put the same image that it made for, actually, I just told it the image above that you just made, change what's on the wall, the decorations on the wall, the pictures, and change the lamps. It put this lamp in, which is completely different. It was like what do they call that? Sandstone, not sandstone. The quartz like lamps, you know.
Yeah, slate.
I can't forget what
Like
Yeah.
the
material it is.
Himalayan salt lamp?
Like that, yeah.
Like,
And
oh,
he had stuff like that, and instead, it decided to put in a desk lamp with the same, and this lamp here, a floor lamp with the same lighting and different pictures. These are not the picture and painting that he had behind him. And
Mm.
it spit it out. I moved it to my my desktop, and you just load it up to Zoom. Boom. It looks like I'm in the same room as he was in. I can do my, profession. This is for a different channel. That's why I was doing this. I'm going to do a different channel talking about tech, or, haven't even decided everything, hypnosis and tech and stuff. But look, you can do that. Hang on just a second, because now I've got to turn that off. And I got to switch cameras to OBS, and boom, my stuff's back. There you go. So yes, there's another tip for you. Create your virtual background, make a virtual back. It can be anything. Don't make the crappy ones. Make the nice, super high quality, not what did we say before? Not too much stuff in the background. Don't overdo it with stuff, right? And or set up your physical. This is a physical real background. Look, I can touch the yeah. And then what goes along with this? Okay, we're using Zoom. Obviously, we have to have internet, but a lot of people don't think about this. You need good internet, really good internet. You don't want the cheap internet. You want to, business expense, write it off. You want the good internet. Why? You don't want it to drop in the middle of a call with a client, especially because, like, I do hypnosis and they're under hypnosis. And this used to happen with Skype all the time, but it doesn't happen with Zoom anymore. And I have super high speed internet here from cable, and that's what you want. Make sure you have good internet, and get a new, if you have a Wi-Fi router from 5-10 years ago, they're all the way up to, what is it now, LE7? I think it's Wi-Fi 7 or something like that. If you have a compatible device that works off of Wi-Fi 7, get a 7 router, get a high-end router, and connect that to your high-end internet. You will thank me later. Okay, you're not going to get any drop calls or anything like that. And it won't get choppy. You'll have enough bandwidth, especially if a lot of other people are, all their devices, your wife, your kids, everybody, your husband, the dog has a phone nowadays. I mean, God, the pets probably have phones. Everybody's got a phone. So the phones, the tablets, the other laptops, the computer in the office, everything's on the Wi-Fi, right? So you want to have really good Wi-Fi, and invest in a good microphone. It doesn't have to be expensive. You see these guys and gals, that set up these, boom mics, they're doing podcasting. They want to look like they're special. You don't need that. You can get a clip-on microphone, all right, that's wired, and then you can plug in. You don't have to spend $500. I'm using this 7-year-old Yeti microphone, the original, in the original color, that I got as a present for my birthday from one of our hosts. That's Janice. Janice bought me this for my birthday, like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm still using it. It's fantastic. It gives your voice great sound. In fact, I'll ask you right now, guys, how do I sound? I just have it sitting here. Now, before that, especially in
You
the radio
sound
days,
good.
yeah, thank you. Especially before YouTube, I had a headset, and you might want to too. Why? A lot of different reasons. First of all, in fact, I don't use this anymore, so it won't stay. I gotta work on. I might need a new headset here. Anyway, um, less than $20 for a high quality noise canceling headset with a microphone that comes off if you just want to listen to music, YouTube videos, your TV, not disturb your hubby sleeping next to you or your wife. Also, you might want to think of using a headset with a microphone, or, if you have a separate headset for the sound, what we were talking about earlier, use either wired or Bluetooth uh, earbuds. Why? Because if there's other people where you are, or let's say you're doing the reading at a coffee shop, you might do that. Why not? And then the background is a fancy coffee shop that's real. Tip number 75 on this call. It's so that privacy. It's so that you, of course, they'll be able to hear your side of the conversation. Just try to keep it low if you're in a public giant. Okay. So you might want to invest in a headset or get a mic and just, plug in some earbuds. A lot of people do that. There's a mic in the earbuds, but you don't want to use that. No, no. What you want to do is, especially if you do Bluetooth, go into your settings on Zoom and set the headset audio to your Bluetooth headset, but then set your microphone to your external mic, because it's not that good over Zoom. Well, Zoom, it's not too bad if it's just a one-on-one, but when there's the bunch of us and we're going through Zoom into YouTube Studio, live streaming on Zoom, yeah, it doesn't work too good. But anyway, there's some advice on that stuff. Invest in good invest in a good
And
mic,
and
headset
if
for
you can't
privacy.
remember that, just
Mhm.
go watch a YouTube video.
Exactly.
Because
And
I have a mic and I have been struggling to figure out how to get my mic to work.
that's
So,
what YouTube's for. You type in, how do I get Yeti to work on my laptop, which is a blah, 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 serial number, blah, blah, blah.
right? Yeah.
Let me tell you, anything you look for, there's a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Now,
by Saturday I have a plan to have my mic.
oh, good, good. Yep. And not this coming weekend, which we'll talk about in a minute here, because we're
Yeah.
almost done with this. And then we'll talk about upcoming shows. But the weekend after, we're taking 2 weeks off. We're taking next weekend, the 6th and 7th of September, off. Okay, let's get through this stuff really quick. I already did the Google Voice phone number. How are you going to take payments? So I use Square. There's a lot of things you can do. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I mean, it's endless how you can do this. I like Square, and a lot of times I use Facebook Messenger. Sometimes I do the reading in text on Facebook and take the payment that way. Because someone will message me on Facebook, Dax, are you free for reading? Sure. And they'll say, okay, send me a link. Okay, so I'm not going to send them a link to Square when I can just hit the plus and just go, request $99.99, and they pay through their Facebook Messenger app, and I do the whole reading through Facebook. Or you can just click the little icon up there and go live on camera without Zoom. You did the entire thing through Facebook. Now, if you get an email or something like that, I would recommend Zoom, and just send them a Square link. If you're in person, this is the cool stuff. So when I started out doing this, I've got Stripe, I've got Square, I've got PayPal. I think I started off using PayPal. Don't like them anymore. I I use Square and you had a microphone jack, and you would plop in the reader, and then you would just slide. And then they came out with, and you still can get these either connected to your phone or separate, connected via Bluetooth, where now that we have the little chip in there, you can just tap the reader. But things have gotten really cool. So on my phone here, it's locking me out for some reason. We've got, and I'm trying to find it here, Square. There we go. And that's it. You've got the Square app, and you're going to type in uh oops, I don't know why I did that. $97.70. And you're going to click uh review the sale. Then you're going to click this blue button down here, charge the $97. Then you're going to click the tap to pay on iPhone. Now, I assume that they have this will work on Samsung or other, Android phones. But look at that. It puts it like that. It puts the logo for tap to pay. And I'm not going to do it because it's going to charge me $97 to myself. Okay, let's get out of this app completely here so I don't screw something up. Okay. And it's going to even show, you're going to hold it like this for the customer. They're going to see the thing there that's this logo right here. They're just going to go boom, and you're paid. And then what's really cool with Square, the way they set it up now, they made some changes a few years ago. Your balance goes into it. You have your own checking account, which, yes, you can get physical checks, which, yes, you can get a debit card for, all on Square. And you can use that debit card or use your checking account information, routing number, and account. You get those numbers, or you can transfer it to your regular bank, all from Square. It is really cool. But you can use Cash App, you can use Facebook Messenger, you can use all these other apps, especially get set up on all of them and ask your client, what do you use? Oh, well, I use Cash App. Okay, and you can send them a request, or they can send it to you, or you can give them your user. Each app does it differently, but like mine is usually Dax Carlisle, and they type in Dax Carlisle, or my email address or something along those, or phone number. I forget how they do. I hardly ever use those apps, but occasionally I do. And the money comes right in. You can send it to your account. It's fantastic. Email lists. We talked on recent shows about creating an email list. And what's your email platform going to be? I used MailChimp for years. I used MailerLite now. That's what I suggest. But you want to start an email list, and you're doing psychic fairs. You're going to have a sheet where you're going to have them write out their name and email address, and give them a little perk, 10% off a reading, or maybe a little downloadable PDF, something or other, so that they'll get on your email list. Psychic.cafe. Oh, I know what that is. That's our website. Why did I say that? Because you can go and sign up and register for free right now at www.psychic.cafe. And just like signing up, say, on Facebook or any other social media, you're going to get a profile with your own blog, pictures, videos, events you can post, articles, anything you want. And basically, it's like a mini website on our website. And if you join the guild on the sale that's going on Labor Day right now, $67, the cost of a latte a month. I guarantee you cannot build your own website, get hosting service, get all of the design done, and the pictures and logos and everything that you want to do. Your profile picture we were talking about, that's your logo, right? Header images, all this. You can't get that for the cost of a latte a month, but you can through the Tarot Guild and Psychic Cafe. So when you join, it's free to join the website and register and set up your in fact, let me put that in the chat while I'm thinking about it. It's oh, that's the wrong list, wrong URL, because I was doing the black and white Rider-Waite Smith. Okay, here we go. Psychic.cafe/register. You can go register for free and get your profile for free and everything right now. But if you join the professional membership, and you don't have to be a professional to join, if you join us, cost of a latte a month, I'm gonna make your header for you if you don't want to do it yourself. I'm gonna make your profile picture for you. I'm gonna give you a custom URL like in fact, let me do our custom URLs while we're here. Like these, all of our hosts are psychic.cafe/their name, their first name. And you can get a short professional looking URL, psychic.cafe/your name, and start your business. If you're just starting out, you don't need to spend $800, $1,300, $2,000, $5,000 and have a website built, or take the time to do that out of your schedule. I'll set up everything up for you, and I'll set up your custom URL. You can even get an email address, your name @psychic.cafe. Really short, very professional.
And it's so nice. It's so much nicer than the one I had before, which had dots in it and was real long. And I love
Yeah.
my Michelle at psychic.cafe email address. Like, who wouldn't?
Right. And it's a really good system. We're using Titan email, which is almost like Google Gmail. You're going to love it. In fact, you can port in all of your Gmail accounts.
Don't do it. Oh.
And the cool thing is it's all in the same place. So I go in and I read I have like 3 Gmail accounts and 4 or 5 business accounts on Titan. And I just go in each box and read it all. It's really cool. And you
It
get
is.
that free when you join the Tarot Guild and Psychic Cafe. We're going to set that all up. And the other thing I forgot to mention was, because I know people are going to ask, what about pay links and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, we can put that in the about section, and they'll be able to buy readings from you. Or if you have a book or deck out, or if you have a book or deck out, just contact me. I'm going to create an entire page just for you and give you a special URL for that you can use. We don't nickel and dime you to death and charge you for all this. And that's what Michelle's Is that yours, Michelle, or
So
no?
this one is mine, and this is the phone one. I think it was Dr. Rose that asked if we could look. And when you go in, you'll see here's Dax's special.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go up. Our latest update newsletter is out. See, I have someone I'm supposed to be calling today or tomorrow, hopefully to get my newsletter out. So bear with me, guys. But yeah, this is.
And while we're doing that, let's go to Michelle's page, and I'm going to tell you why here. See if I can find Michelle's page real quick. Oh, it's not doing it that way. So
Michelle or Mystic Corner.
No, your actual page, because on your page you have a link to your other page that I want to show them. This is something we can actually do. So here is Michelle's profile, and of course this is going to look different on desktop and on pads and so forth like that. But what's really cool is when you type in psychic.cafe/Michelle, it doesn't take you right to just her profile, but to specifically her about page. And on her about page, what she has here is, oh God, it's not there. Oh, you know what I did? It just dawned on me. Michelle, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We did not set this up for you yet. This was Rose wanted this. Oh my God. So I've got to go to Rose's psychic.cafe/Rose. That's Dr. Rose. That's
Yes.
Miss Tarot Path, Dr. Rose. Okay, there's hers. She made this herself, by the way. I didn't make
See,
this.
that is beautiful.
Right. But look at her about page. Visit Dr. Rose's services page and book your readings today. So I made, and you click on her name, Dr. Rose's services, and it takes you to a new page on the website. And welcome to my tarot services, where insight meets intention, discover clarity, direction, and power, blah, blah, blah. And then I have book buttons on there for you to book her services and everything like that. So you can,
See,
I
she's
will,
so amazing.
so I made that for her, and I will make that for you if you find that in addition to your profile, psychic.cafe/your first name, or first and last, or however your last name, or however you want to do it, your business name, I'll set up a completely separate page for you for your services. Hers, for instance, is, let me look this up. It's psychic.cafe/DR for Dr. Rose Services. So it's DRROSE Rose Services, all one word. And that takes you over to her custom page. And so I can make a custom page for your services. If you have a book out, if you have a deck out,
It's
and
awesome.
plus, as a member, you can create your own groups. You could have a group, which is what Michelle was talking about. Psychic.cafe/Mystic Corner is her group for her shows, and everything she does is on there.
And the groups are fun.
So join the guild, and another, doing business as a psychic advisor tip: get certified. You don't have to. It's not a law or anything like that, but it does help your business presence to get certified through the guild, become a member, get certified. Right now, we've got a package deal you'll find on the Labor Day sale. Let me put this in here. Psychic.cafe Labor Day. And you'll see a package there for membership and certification. If you're already a member, go to the private members group on the website, psychic.cafe/guild members, and you'll see right there at the top, there's a payment link where you get the discount. It's only $67 for each level. So if you're already a certified professional or certified tarot reader or advisor, if you want to apply for master, like Michelle should be doing, she's about ready, things like that, each level is only $67 right now. But if you're not a member yet, there's a package deal there where you're going to get your membership discounted to 67, 14% off, also 67 for your certification. So that's what, $134, something like that. And so you'll get the discounts together. You can join and pay for your certification. Or if you need my course, enroll in my course and you get all that free. Everything we're talking about, all of this is included in my course. And lastly, we do ongoing promotion, and you'll be pre-approved. I'm trying to read my notes here. You'll be pre-approved to post on our Facebook groups. And so not everybody can just post on our Facebook groups ads and stuff. They can post, but they can't post ads and about their services and things like that. You have to be a member of the guild. And we do ongoing promotion. You put out an article, a blog post on the Psychic Cafe website, pictures, memes, videos, any cool stuff. And I'm going to go and push that out. I'm going to put it on dozens and dozens of big 10,000 to 100,000 people, Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter. I'm going to put it out all over, and also share it in our newsletter out to all of our members as well. So you get ongoing promotion as well. And I guess I said last, but actually the last thing is join us as a host, because really doing a YouTube channel, podcasting is where it's at. And we can hold your hand through the process. So don't go off and create your podcast and your channel and what have you right now. Join us on here and get it down first. And in fact, you may never need to start your own, but if you want to, you certainly can. Michelle has her own. Ellie, everybody's got their own except me. Everybody has their own channel. I will soon, but everybody's got their own channel, but you can post the same or similar videos on your channel and then post them on the Psychic Cafe channel as well and get double exposure there. Permanent host, like all of our hosts, permanent hosting on our network is $47 a month. And what you get for that is everything we all just talked about. So yeah, I was talking about the sale and $67 a year instead of $78 a year for membership, enrolling in my course, certification, all this stuff. Guess what? You can bypass all of that and just become a host on the network. And I think I've got a thing for that. Become a host, which is not showing for some reason. There it is. Become a host on our network. You can read more about it, psychic.cafe/host. But I wanted to mention that because we will get you into podcasting and YouTubing. We will hold your hand through the process. You'll get the benefit of our 16 years of doing this. Plus, you'll get your certification as a professional. You'll get membership in the guild. You'll get my course. You'll get everything for $47 a month. So I just wanted to mention that. Contact me if you're interested in that. You can go over to psychic.cafe/host. I believe that's I don't know. Is that the right one? Don't know my own URLs, but yeah, that's the one that'll take you over there. It explains it all. And then there's a link to my page where you can contact me and say, hey, yeah, and I'll send you over a link where you can start your subscription. $47 a month. You get everything for that. There you go. So there's so much to it that it's not an exhaustive list what we just went through for your business. I probably forgot a half a dozen things I should have told y'all, but you got the gist of it, I think. And this is at least going to get you started, So Ellie, Michelle, do you guys have anything to add from your experience, starting your own business? Did you find that you had a lot of the same things come up, that we talked about already?
Yeah, a lot of the same things. I think the biggest thing for me was in the grand scheme of it all was learning to be patient with myself, because you get excited. You get, oh, I want this to happen. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you can get so excited and so ahead of yourself that you actually fall behind. So be patient with yourself and pace yourself.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Oh, real quick, I wanted to mention, I think I saw somewhere, I think it was when I was on the Zoom app. I think Dion sent us a cup of coffee.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, thank you very much for the cup of coffee. Dion's question real quick. She was asking about a legal thing, which again, we can't give legal advice, but I'm going to pull a couple cards on this, see what comes up. I'm not seeing where I can do the super chats today.
Yeah, I don't see it either. It's not
Yeah,
on.
what? I don't know what happened to the super chats, but you can go over to coffee. Psychic.cafe/coffee, buy us a cup of coffee there. I don't know where our super chats went. Okay, that's disconcerting. But Dion's question, I'm trying to find it. I just read it and now it's gone again. Something about a botched surgery.
It's
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Except now things keep popping up and I can't freaking get rid of them. Okay, my question is, up above. Okay. Recently found out a surgery I had was botched. Should I sue? Well, yeah. You don't need to ask tarot for that. But hold on just a second. Um, Three of Pentacles. Okay. Working with a group, you need legal representation. All right. You and your legal representative, maybe more than one, or maybe a mentor or somebody close, the three or four of you or more need to consult on this. And then I got the Knight of Swords, and he's rushing in with this idea. I think it's pretty obvious. Go for it. Go for it. Yes, absolutely. And I don't know if I missed any other part of that question up higher, but Dion, if I missed anything, just put it in the chat. So yeah, just like Dion, you can always buy us a cup of coffee, psychic.cafe/coffee, because apparently our super chats are not working.
I know,
Uh,
right?
it's like technology. Oh my God. And by the way, this is why I like that we have our own coffee page, our own tip jar, for a couple of reasons. One, you have to hit the $100 threshold before
Yeah.
YouTube's even going to send you any money, and they take a big cut. Whereas when you go to psychic.cafe/coffee, we get it all and
Yeah.
instantaneously, right?
Well,
Oh,
for
it's so funny because and I even missed this. Dion mentions Knight of Swords and going under the knife.
right.
Yeah, you may need a second, an additional surgery to correct whatever they messed up.
And that's interesting because I pulled a card and I got the two, the clover. So the second surgery would be the two. The clover, the little luck would be going back under for surgery and getting compensation for the last surgery. But what really popped up with this card is if you don't do what you know you need to do, you're not going to have any peace. And that's what I felt with this card was that you need the peace of the closure.
Awesome. I'm trying to read any other questions we might have missed.
Oh,
So, Michelle, can you pull a card real quick? Mystic Road, Doug's energy towards me. And then we'll do one more. Ellie, can you pull for Aisha? Ahmed, feel bad when I told him he should, I think she meant should not waste time in making friends with me. I'm already getting married or have a marriage proposal. I guess she's asking if he feels bad. Let's just see what comes up. Just pull a card if you could, Ellie, for Aisha. I'm butchering her name. Aisha. And then the one before that was Mystic Road. What's Doug's intentions towards me or energy towards me or what have you?
so what I got was that Doug's energy is it's burdened, it's heavy. His energy is almost making him feel like it's an obstacle. Okay, he's
Yeah.
carrying a lot of emotional feelings with him. So the female here is a mature female, but with all of this baggage on these cards, it's indicating that right now his energy is really scattered. And so I asked when I was drawing these cards, what is the heart of the whole situation? And it is a family matter. And so I again drew another card just because
Hmm.
I wanted to really make sure I'm doing this right. And I got the Five of Pentacles. So he's
Pretty
feeling
card.
it is. And so he's feeling really emotional about a family situation that he is going through right now. And it could even be making you feel like you're out in the dust, in the dirt. But regardless, he might need you just to be there as a friend. And so that's what I have for you.
Awesome. And Ellie, what'd you get?
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to pull cards. I think it's for Aisha. So the cards that I pulled 2 tarot and 1 oracle deck just to kind of get a general feel, general sense of the situation, what you need to know about what might be kind of like the current energy of the situation. We got the Tower card. So
Ooh.
the Tower card, again, is typically that energy that's asking us to release what it is that we've been trying to hold on to in terms of the foundations we've built, the things we believe, the things we hold very near and dear to ourselves that we're just kind of like, this is how it is. And fate has different opinion on it. Fate says, you need to let this go. You're going to rebuild. You're going to start new. You're going to do something different. It's almost the phrase, from the ashes rises a new castle. So I feel like the energy surrounding the situation right now does feel like it is a bit of a shakeup. So if this person and their feelings toward you are kind of in a romantic pursuit, which you've already kind of put the hold on that and said, hey, I'm getting married. There's no room for that. This might feel a little bit earth shaking for them. They may be in a situation where they're just kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But you're not. The other energy kind of surrounding the situation as far as what we're moving towards is Page of Wands. So in a sense, this person may realize that maybe it was like an idealized kind of thing. Maybe they were clinging to this idea of you and your relationship together, what that entailed, maybe friendship or platonic. Maybe they had romantic feelings, but it was just more of a kind of a thing that they latched onto. Again, foundations that were built on shaky ground. And I really feel like this is moving in an energy more of peacefulness, playfulness. Page of Wands energy, again, is asking us to tap into this kind of discovery mode. What do I like about this person? What do I like about the relationship we had? And utilize that to move forward in a different direction. And then the Oracle card that I picked up here, just to kind of wrap it all up, is Cracked Open. So this is about hitting rock bottom and surrendering to whatever may come. This is just kind of like, hey, it is what it is. And it's almost saying, I'm going to have to rebuild. I'm going to have to start anew, but it's okay because this is going to give me something new and something beautiful to move forward with. Yeah, that's what I got, and hope that helps.
Awesome. All right. So that brings us to the end of the show. We've been doing a lot of topic shows, and I love doing the topics. But I'm almost thinking that we need we used to do it the other way around. I think now we need to start throwing in some where we just do readings shows. And I
I
know,
think so too.
yeah. I mean, we have September already scheduled. Maybe in October we'll start doing some more fun shows. We'll just talk a little bit about Halloween, in
Yeah.
October.
Well,
Pull cards.
tomorrow through October 30th is Halloween Eve.
Hmm?
Tomorrow, September 1st through October 30th is Halloween Eve.
The
Yes,
whole
it's
month?
officially Halloween
Oh
season.
yeah. Oh yeah, the whole
I have
Absolutely.
month is
never heard of
September.
that. That is totally new to
September and
me.
October.
Yeah,
It's
September
been spooky season.
is
I
Halloween
had a
Eve.
friend. I had a friend in San Diego, Sean, and he was when I was living in San Diego, and to him, Halloween was Christmas. And for months, he was doing stuff, and the decorations on Halloween. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes.
It was insane, insane. And I highly recommend that. Oh,
Yes,
real
it's so
quick,
much fun.
uh, one last time, I want to mention you can come over to our website, register for free. Even if you don't want to join, come over and join us on the website. You can register. It's just like getting on Facebook and getting a profile. And the other thing was, and I can't find it for some reason, is where do my host links go? Oh, there they are. Okay, so here's our links. Psychic.cafe/Dax. That's me. Psychic.cafe/Ellie. psychic.cafe/Michelle. And when you go
That's
over
me.
and when you go over and register, like I just said, once you register and you're logged into the site, then when you go to these pages, you'll see a little envelope icon, a chat icon. Click that and you can chat with us. If we're on the website, we'll be able to chat live. If we're not there, right then, don't worry about it. We'll be sent a message, we'll be emailed that, hey, so and so messaged you, and we'll get back with you. So that's how you keep in contact with us in between shows. And speaking of shows, like I said, we're taking a little bit of hiatus. We are going to be off this coming weekend, the 6th and the 7th. So that's like a 2-week break. Need a break because I'm working on a lot of things. Anyway, the next show will be Saturday, September 13th, Michelle's Mystic Corner. And Michelle is going to be talking about runes and where do they come from? Where do they come from? And then that Sunday, September 14th, how to ask empowering questions of the tarot. And I'll have not just one, but two. Remember, I was talking about I went through and rearranged all of my files and stuff like that. I found another PDF with 100 questions on it. And then I have
Oh, nice.
the other PDF that's in 5 different categories, 99 questions to ask the tarot. I'm going to give out free both of those PDFs on Sunday, September 14th. How to ask empowering questions of the tarot. And then the next week in September will be Saturday, September 20th. Michelle will be getting into rune basics. And then that's Sunday, the 21st. How many readings are too many readings? And by the way, this will be one of our shows where, it's a topic, but it's going to be a much smaller, not an hour and a half class like we just did, which, by the way, was not supposed to be an hour and a half, but there was so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the bunch of us can get on and chit chat about, how many readings do you let clients have? And, getting, what's the word for it? They get, a lot of clients get, God, I can't think of the word, like attached.
Yes,
But
needy.
yeah, but there's a word for it where, that they're
Dependent.
almost like they're
Dependent. Yes, Ellie.
dependent. That's the one. They get dependent on the readings, so we don't want that happening. So we're going to be talking about that. And then Saturday, September 27th, the final weekend of the month that we're going to be doing shows, Crown Cheer Saturday. As always, bring your deck. If you're a member of the guild, or a student in my course, or both, you can join us on the Zoom live, bring your deck and do reading along with Michelle. And then that Sunday, September 28th, this is the topic we mentioned earlier. Are shorter readings better with today's limited attention spans? There you go. So I remember, oh, shoot, where'd I go? Oh, there I am. So I remember when I started out and, reading in coffee shops and stuff like that, I mean, it was a bare minimum an hour. I don't know about you guys, but as time went by, you know, 20 minutes is a long time. I mean, I can pull a lot of cards and go through a lot of scenarios and different possibilities and so forth like that, and get, really, really good information for the client in 15, 20 minutes, even less really. But typically, because they like to talk and I like to talk, it's, they'll pay for 20 minutes, but I'm on with them for an hour or half hour, but it's not an hour and a half like it used to be. And I'm just thinking, in today's day and age, plus, hey, you might want to think of promoting advertising on your socials. Hey, need a question answered? Get my 5 for 5 reading and pop into Facebook Messenger with me and get my 5 to 5 reading. And then you charge them $5 and you spend 5 minutes, pull some cards, And $5. I thought you always said don't charge so little. Yeah, but if you're doing a 5-minute quick thing, guess what? You can do 10 of those in a day, $50. You can do 20 of those in a day, $100. $100 a day, 5 days a week is $500, $2,000 a month. Actually, it's more than that, but you know what I mean. It adds up. It adds up. And so if you can be the go-to quick answer person and do it in 5 minutes for $5. The other thing is that it's like doing free readings, only not free. So you're making a little money, but they're getting to know your style, your voice, your appearance, how you read, and they're more likely than if they've booked a $5 5-minute reading with you, they're or maybe you do $10, 10 for 10 or something like that. Hey, they're more likely to purchase a longer reading with you. So there's another idea for under our topic today, business of tarot. It's endless. It's endless. I'm telling you, we got to get off here because I'll just keep talking. Anything else, Michelle, Ellie, that you want to leave everybody with, or a tip or an idea, something that happened to you in your business?
If I could add anything of value, I would say definitely look for free and low cost resources. And people who are out there giving a lot of this information for free and saying, hey, I've been here, I've tried that, I can show you, exactly what you might want to look into based on your needs. So if you're somebody who's a reader that's ready to go and you have clientele and you have a list already and you just need to kind of get the technical stuff down, there are places where you can just build a website, spin it up real quick within half an hour, and you are good to go. So a lot of free resources out there. I know there's programs and stuff that you can utilize to create your logo, to create flyers, banners. I used Canva to create these business cards.
Yeah.
So just super easy, super quick. And yeah, it's totally possible. And, if you're out there listening, wondering if you can do it, I mean, you have Dax, Michelle, and I here telling you this is absolutely possible, doable. Even more so if you join us in the Psychic Cafe and the Tarot Guild, and you have people here who are more than willing and happy to share information and resources to get yourself out there. We're here for you.
That reminds me, my final suggestion or tip is and it's funny, 3 days ago I would not have said this, but now that Gemini has the added advanced image capability, watch some YouTube videos on AI and start using it. A lot of these tools that we're talking about, Canva, Photoshop, all this stuff, it's going bye-bye, people. It's going bye-bye. It is amazing. And AI used to be able to almost do this, but now it is to the point, and then within the next year to 2 years, where you don't need and eventually it's all you can be able to do this with video editing. Is going to go away. Video, it will just edit your video. You will just upload the video and it will edit it exactly. You tell it what to do and it'll do it without you having to know how to encode and do this and do that. Images are already there. You could take a picture of a billboard, pop it up with a picture of yourself onto Gemini.google.com right now and tell it, take that person off the billboard, put me on there, change the text to this, change the background to that. It just does it. It would take me an hour in Photoshop. I could do it. I know how to do it in Photoshop. It would take me an hour, maybe 15 minutes, but it depends on how complicated it was. If I had to do masking and all this, it's going to take me an hour. I'm 61. I'm not one of these 20-year-olds doing Photoshop. I am old person doing Photoshop. It takes me longer. It takes me an hour. Not anymore. You just pop in what you want, tell it what you want. It just does it. I saw somebody yesterday on video So this is a day after the launch of this new with Gemini, and he uploaded a picture of himself. He uploaded somebody else's thumbnail, had them swap him onto there, change the text, but keep the same gist, and had the perfect viral thumbnail spit out, which he used to have to pay his guy $50 an hour to do, his Photoshop guy, that it spit it out in 30 seconds. It's unreal. He also did a test where he tried to do the same thing in Chat GPT, and then he did it in Gemini. Gemini, 30 seconds or 20 seconds, it popped up, Chat GPT was still thinking, and even after it did it, it got it wrong. So even the fantastic Chat GPT, which still works for a lot of stuff, can't do what Gemini.google.com does now with Gemini. And Gemini's hopefully going to be powering my series soon. Yeah, they're going to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're going to do a collaboration. Possibly, they're only in talks, but I would love that.
Yeah.
Fix Siri, because it is Apple Intelligence is absolutely useless. Anyway, that's my tip. Get to know AI. By the way, I did the card of the day today. Nope, I did not do the car of the day today. Gemini car of the day today.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yes. The card of the day was, once again, what was it? It was the Ace of Pentacles. So I put in a short, like 1.5, 2 sentence prompt, and I said, act as if you are a master tarot reader and you're going to give a positive message / reading from the Ace of Pentacles tarot card. And what I read off to you when I had this up in the beginning of the show, and I read that off to you, that was from Gemini. That was from AI, folks. That was not from me. And it was fantastic. Fantastic. And so these tools are going to be able to, I'm not saying replace us, although I think it's coming, I remember when AI started coming out a few years back or so, and I said, it will never replace a human counselor / reader. It just can't do it. And now I'm going, I may need to get into a different business here. I'm not saying replace the psychic advisor, the tarot reader. But what I'm saying is you can use it as a tool to spit out information, which you can then combine with your intuition and create an even more fabulous reading. Look, I have been doing this for too many decades to talk about. But especially for someone new, you don't have all this tarot jargon programmed in your brain. And I got to tell you, I hit 61, and I have forgotten more than I ever learned about tarot and numerology. If I can have a little tool off to the side where I can ask questions and stuff pops up and my readings sound more flowery, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Absolutely. I'm going to leave you with one more thing. I wasn't going to do this, but I got to find it. So everybody hang out with me for a minute. I'm going to share my screen. Sorry this show went so long, but this has been just too much fun. I don't know. I think Ellie and Michelle are having fun too. Let me tell you, tell me if you can, I don't know if it's going to be big enough, but tell me if you can you see that? Is it sharing the whole, can you see it though? It's kind of a small picture. Is it showing it on your screens bigger? Okay. I put,
Yeah, it looks good.
I put the Magician card. It was actually the Wade Smith Radiant version from US Games. I put that as soon as the new Gemini thing came out. I put that in Gemini, and I asked it to recreate the card in Baroque style. It kind of messed things up a little bit. It took the sword off of the table, and then it put this fancy hilt on it. And then I had to tell it again, prompt it again, and tell it to, change it to a regular hilt. And I tried to get it to put it on the table, but it wasn't understanding me to slide it in. So there's still some things you're going to have to do in Photoshop and all, but this is what it spit out. The perfect tarot card of the Magician. Like, if Pamela Smith was using modern digital art tools in a pad and was doing the art today, it would look like this, or something like this. And so this is where things are going. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. I've been wanting to do a deck forever, and I have a super secret project, 20-year-old project that I can't tell you about, but I'm not an artist, so I could never. And I tried to get with artists, and 5 different times, it never worked. Now I can go in and have it spit out exactly what I tell it I need to put the images on my special project deck that I want to do. And I also always wanted for the Tarot Guild our own deck, a deck of the traditional Wade Smith images, like this foil deck, a beginner's deck for our beginners, and maybe even some of our experts, because they love it so much. Is I want an updated, what if Pamela Pixie Smith was alive today and using digital art technology like Ciro Marchetti? What would these images have looked like? I've wanted a deck like that forever, but I'm not rich enough to hire artists to. A tarot project is bigger than you think, folks. It's not, you commission an artist to make one painting and it costs $2,000. Imagine 78 paintings, nowadays with Fiverr and stuff like that, you could get it done cheaper, but I've always been looking for a way. How can I do this myself? I'm, learning Photoshop, trying to be able to do it on Photoshop and create new images in the Wade Smith style. It's not that other people haven't done this and other decks have come out, obviously, but they've never been quite what I'm looking for. They're not, like, for instance, oh shoot, I don't have it there. What's it called? The Llewellyn deck. The majors are based on Welsh mythology, because Llewellyn is obviously a Welsh name. The minor arcana, however, are exact, not exactly like a clone, but they're an exact reproduction. That's not the word for it. A reimagining, but in exactly this, where the individuals and the scene and what's going on in the Wade Smith, it's virtually identical, but just modernized, and it's better. And that's my favorite go-to deck. I use this because it's easy and it's flashy on but in person I like to use the Llewellyn deck or one of Chiro's, but it's in watercolor, and that's not what I want, but now I can just have AI do it. So that's what I'm trying to learn now, is becoming a prompt engineer for tarot decks and oracle decks. And that's pro tip number 90 that for our topic today. And if you left early, you missed this, and it's the best tip of the day: is learn AI and become a prompt engineer. And even if you don't want to do your own decks, do it for other people, because you don't have to be an artist anymore. a deck creator that's not an artist can do it themselves, but if they don't want to do the work and they want to hire you, because it takes a lot of prompting to get exactly what you're trying to get, have them come to you and pay you to go in and tell the AI what you want for each of the 78 or 50 or 44 pictures for the deck that they want, and you create it as a prompt engineer for the deck creator whose deck it's actually going to be. Because, by the way, most of these people out there that are deck creators, they didn't do the art. Just so you know. Ciro Marchetti did. A few others did. But good 75%. The person that is the deck creator, whose name is on it, who you see in the podcast talking about their deck, they didn't do the art. They hired an artist either anonymously, or they are co-credited artwork by, just so you know. So that's the other tip. So great tip from Ellie. Last tip, my tip. Michelle, you have a final tip, or you good? We're
You
gonna.
know, I guess my final tip is try to stay a little organized
Ooh, I like that.
because I can get really unorganized really easily. And I always say I have an organized disorganization. But get, when you start your business, get some sort of organization. Keep your receipts in one spot, keep your business records in one spot. um keep records, keep track of things, because as we get older our memory goes. So keep track of things. I think that's my biggest tip.
Awesome. Awesome. And I just wanted to mention that I keep mentioning Gemini, but there are so many other specialized AI tools out there. So be on the lookout for those, because you can just pop a video in nowadays. Let's say you're going to go into this YouTube thing that we were just talking about that you should do, and you can join us too. Well, you do a, say, 10, 15, 20-minute video, you could pop that into a specialized AI and it will automatically spit out like 30-second to a minute clips to use on TikTok and stuff like that. And I haven't even begun to research it myself. I need to hire Ellie to do it for me.
Right.
you know and you think we're kidding, but no, you could learn this stuff and you can start a business doing, creating thumbnails, creating clips. All creators out there need people to do it because they don't have the time to do it all themselves, and or
So
they don't
true.
want to. Yeah. Well, thanks,
Yeah.
Ellie. I'm so glad that you joined us, and Michelle, thank you for
Yeah,
being here. Um, I'm sorry to take so much time, 2 hours, folks, but hey,
that was
this is
awesome.
probably the most valuable show that we've ever done.
It
A lot to
really
cover.
is.
All
And
right.
I've been sitting here taking notes, and
I know you got to share your
I've
notes.
learned a lot.
Yeah, teach me. Anyway, so we're gonna get out of here. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Saturday, September 13th, for Michelle's Mystic Corner. Where
Woo-hoo.
do them runes come from? Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye, Ellie. Bye,
everybody.
Michelle.
Bye, Ellie. Bye, Dax.
Hey, we're out of there. Hey, thanks for doing that, guys, and sticking with me.
That was fun.